Okay, people, this is JD again. Today I'm going to talk to you about something very serious and very important. And a lot of you won't even remember part of it. First, this video is going to be about our economy, the US's, United States of America economy. Nobody else's, just ours. The rest of the world is a reason for the problem, and I will explain it to you. Understand that an economy must follow certain rules and procedures. It is done a certain way. I can go into details with you, but it's like physics. You go into physics, first and foremost is time, because everything must exist to have an existence, a span of time. Therefore, time is the first stage of anything in physics. And then the physical reaction of elements and chemicals and all that stuff, and interaction of all these matters all play into physics. The actual universe, the whole universe, not just our solar system, the whole universe from one end to the other end, all plays into physics within our small planet, Earth. Now, what does that have to do with our economy? Well, our economy is very much like physics in the sense that it must follow the rules of economic behavior. Now that we understand that it has certain rules to follow, then where is the problem within our economy? Well, a lot of you won't remember this, but we used to have this president, good old boy, who now has cancer, Jimmy Carter. He started the degradation of the United States of America economy. And president upon president upon president continued that. They ignored the rules of economic growth within a nation. Oh, we had plenty of economic growth to share with the world, to be the good old boy, to be the good buddy, to help. But now, look at what we got. Our economic system within the United States of America is almost completely degraded to where it's non-functional. We are leaving the upper top tier of economic development and moving down that ladder to lower tiers, which will mean stuff you won't notice, but the degradation of our society. Now, some of you might say, okay, really, I mean, we really don't notice it, but actually you do see it. Where do you see it? In the frustration of the people. Guns don't kill. Frustrated people do. People who can't find a job. People who don't have a job. People who can't make a decent living. People who have to turn to crime to make a living. These are all examples of economic degradation. It is growing. Our inner cities are collapsing because the people within the inner cities are starting to give up. Once the people give up, the economic system starts collapsing around them. So, what is it that caused this? Well, we have Jimmy Carter, who decided to remove some of the protection that our economic system had to protect it from foreign competitors. And then the next president, and then we got up to Clinton, where he really moved away a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't even understand why we still have so many illegal aliens coming into the United States from Mexico border, when all our manufacturing for GM is headed that way. And those of you who think Chrysler is an American company, It's a North American company. Yes, it's Canadian, but it's not the United States anymore. I don't even know Ford has enough manufacturing inside this country. The three big autos, General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford, I don't even think Ford has enough to say that it is now an American manufacturing company. To me, to be an American manufacturing company, 65% or more of what they manufacture must be manufactured within the United States. Anything less than that, then they are not. That's my personal opinion. Now, to get back to our economics, economics must create new wealth. Not existing wealth, not moving wealth around. An example of moving wealth around is called the stock market. They are taking wealth from point A to point B to point C to point D to etc. etc. Are they creating new wealth? No. They're just moving money around. Money is not wealth. So, is the United States now creating new wealth? No, it's importing products from throughout the world. Where those products were made created new wealth. Where there was no wealth, there is now some value in which money exchanges hands. The exchange of money is not creation of wealth. For example, Warren Buffett's companies. If he was sole owner, did not have it on the stock market, every penny that he got would go to him. But instead, because it's on the stock market and their interest is only to make money, which really is of no value, that is distributed among the stockholders. But it had not created any wealth. It just redistributed the wealth. Therefore, by redistributing the wealth, it's no longer a growing economy. It's stagnated. Now here's the real problem. Some of this money being redistributed is coming from overseas now. So now what happens is money's moving overseas and coming back and forth, back and forth. Well, what happens? We're not creating new wealth. We're redistributing what wealth there is among the rest of the world. It decreases in value within the United States. So now we have less of what we had before anything. The saddest thing to happen to any company, any corporation, is to get on the stock exchange. Because once the company enters the stock exchange, it's no longer involved in creating new wealth. It's only involved in making more money. I keep using that term, creating new wealth, creating new wealth. That is the basis of all economic systems, to create new wealth. How do you create new wealth if it ain't money? Well, money is just existing transfer of wealth. To create new wealth, you have to take something of no value and make it something valuable. An example, iron ore in the ground, just dirt and rock. It's a piece of land maybe worth $100 an acre, $50 an acre. Well, if it's in New York City, maybe $100,000 an acre. That's its dollar value, but it has no wealth. Come in, you dig out the iron ore, and you melt it down to steel. Now, steel has an increased value over iron ore. Well, that steel created from that iron ore new wealth. That steel is worth more than the iron ore, which now creates new wealth. Because that wealth didn't exist in the iron ore. Now they take that steel and they manufacture it into an automobile, let's say. Now they've created even more new wealth. But who's creating this new wealth? Is it the American society, the United States, or is it countries throughout the world? Is that still be created in the United States? No. Then that new wealth is not created in the United States, therefore it's not added to the economic growth of the nation, and we have economic degradation. Is that car manufactured in the United States? Yes. Oh, we have some economic stabilization because we're into an economic degradation. If it's not, then further economic degradation. New term, economic degradation. What is that? The loss of an economic status or level at which you're at. So, now, between Canada and the United States, I believe there's no tariffs. Between Mexico and the United States, there's none or almost no tariff. Between China and the United States, there's almost no tariffs. Between Japan, there's almost no tariffs at all. So, manufacturing says, hey, it's cheaper to make it over here. It's cheaper to make it over there. It's cheaper to produce the product over here. They leave the United States and they create the new wealth in those different areas. Those people employed in the manufacturing of the new wealth receives an income. They all get all this from the new wealth. But those people in the United States where that wealth is no longer being created don't have jobs. The basis of all economic growth is the ability to create new wealth. Our economic foundation is no longer based on that. We as a people must realize this, and our government must understand they are creating the downfall of the economic country of the United States of America. To do anything about it, we have to turn things around. What are some ways that our government is inhibiting economic growth? Taxation. Anybody who tries to build a manufacturing company in here, the United States, is taxed to the living end. Well, we need the taxes to pay for the exorbitant government we have. Yes, we do. So let's get rid of some of that exorbitant government. Without the taxes, we can't pay the people we owe that we borrow from so we can have wars throughout the world. Oh, okay. Stop borrowing. Yeah, but without the taxes, we can't keep this big government running and overpay the people for doing almost nothing. Oh, yeah, that is true, isn't it? But let's see, what else did the government doing to destroy the United States economic basis? Tariffs. They removed almost all tariffs. Well, tariffs were designed to protect the manufacturing within a nation. Doesn't matter what nation it is, that's what they're for. But our government decides that, oh, you're a good guy, so you don't have to pay tariff, or you're a really, really good guy, you get no tariffs whatsoever, or you're so good guy, so we'll give you a little tariffs. You're a bad guy, tariffs at the maximum. Well, by removing all these tariffs, they have created cheaper material made within cheaper employment countries, so that our manufacturers now move over there and they're manufacturing the same goods that we were manufacturing here at the same quality they were manufacturing here, but they're doing it cheaper so they can make more money on Wall Street and then ship the products over here. It's cheaper. So what does that do to our economy? Tear it apart. These are just a couple of the things our government has done to destroy or degrade the United States of America economic system. There's many more. These all need to be corrected. Don't look for people like Donald Trump who swinging the bat yelling immigration, immigration, immigration to doggone do something about it, because he's too easily run on the easy problems. The ones that are easy to fix, as he says. Yeah, it is easy. Throw everybody in jail who hires an illegal alien for robbing from the American people. because they don't pay Social Security on those employees. They don't pay Medicare on those employees. They don't pay Medicaid. That's just a start. Start throwing them in jail, they'll stop hiring. The immigrants will stop coming. Once they stop coming, you don't have a problem. See? But they're not going to do that because they're good old buddies. They want to make more money. The less money they pay out in wages, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, taxes, etc., the more money they put in their pocket. Yes. That's just one. That's an easy problem, like Trump said. Build a wall. Yeah, they could tunnel through the wall underground. Big deal. You know, history has shown walls don't work. How many castles throughout the Middle Ages has fallen because their walls didn't keep the bad guys or the enemy or the other side out? So, people, what do we got to do? You've got to understand the situation our nation is in. The political parties have done nothing but destroy almost everything our forefathers built in the name of whatever. Neither one of the political parties represent you, the people. They represent only their own agenda. They don't care about you, the people, you, the individual. Only time they ever even know you exist is election time. Oh, then and then what do they want? They want money from you right up front. Support your political party. You guys don't even support me. The answer to our problems is us, you, me, together, not Congress, because they're not listening to you. As a matter of fact, they have boldly said they're not listening to you. When someone gets up there and says, I don't care whether they like it or not, I don't care if the people want it or not, they're going to get it whether they like it and learn to like it. That was said on the floor of the House by the Speaker of the House at that time. Today's Speaker of the House says, if you don't get in line with the party, you will be punished. Never mind what your people want, this is what the party wants. See? That's the government we got. That's the government you all put in place. By you turning your head and saying, I don't really talk about government, I don't really concern about government, you have done this. You have allowed the people like Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and whoever else to degrade our economic system that was the strongest economic system throughout the world. And now we're at a point where we almost cannot compete. Really? Then what happens to our economic system? If it can't compete, it's going to really degrade a lot more. Then how the people are going to feel when nobody can find a job. You think the killings you see now, the fighting, the arguing, the rioting in the streets is going to be less? No, we have to unite as a people. We have to build this nation. In other words, we got to roll up our sleeve, get our elbows dirty, and buckle down to fix our nation. We, you and I. We can do it. Nothing is impossible. I promise you 3 things and only 3 things. Bring your voice to Washington, D.C. 2, to make Congress start realizing that they are the servants of the people and only the people. No political parties, no special interest groups, no rich, no outside organizations like the UN or NWO. None of those. They are to serve only the American people, and the American people are the masters of our government. Not the president, not Congress. The American people are the masters of our government. And 3, to bring leadership. Now, all the other problems, Social Security, taxation, inflation, the economy, foreign affairs, all that, we together can fix. You name it, we can fix it. But we can only do it as one people, as one nation, as one, unit. As we can only do it together as the United States of America. Look at it, Puerto Rico, part of our country, is caving in. Economically, it is beyond the point of economic degradation. The people are leaving the island, coming to places where they can get jobs because there's nothing there. Why? Why do we have so many laws restricting their growth just because they're a Commonwealth? And why is there a representative in Congress and the Senate from Puerto Rico who has no vote or no say? Isn't that one of our complaints in the Declaration of Independence, that we had people without representation? They need to count. Maybe not the same number like the states. For example, the Senate, one only from each of the Commonwealths, and they should have a vote. In Congress, half of as many as what would be for a regular state, and they should have a vote. Why not? I ask you, why are we exactly what we should not be, as stated in our Declaration of Independence? Our economic growth is totally being destroyed by our government. We are a frustrated nation, a people who don't know where to turn to find the answers, yet I stand here in front of you, giving you, yes, we can do it, but we have to do it together. I'm not going to sit here swinging bats, blaming everything on illegal aliens. I'm not going to take the 14th Amendment and say, hey, I think it's illegal, so no. Matter of fact, I'm doing the opposite. I will protect the rights of every single American citizen from the day they're born to the day they die. Rights, privileges, and promises in accordance to the Constitution of the United States of America. Because that's the only thing we got left. Our government has taken away everything else, almost completely. So people, yeah, this is about our economy. Actually, this is about our nation. This is about the United States surviving beyond next 30 years, 50 years. It's going to fall apart if we don't start working together. Yes, I can keep my promises, all three of them. Bring your voice to Washington, D.C., force Congress to start realizing they work for only the American people, and leadership. I can keep those. And together, we can fix everything else. Yes, we can. Each and everything that you all find wrong. Now, how I'm going to keep my first promise is more important than anything else. Bring your word to Washington, D.C. What upsets you has to get inside me. Today, I talked to a young lady on a website. She was a little surprised. Whoa, wait a minute. And you're on this side? Yes, because you matter. I want to know what bothers you. So she told me. She's afraid when she gets old enough to get Social Security, it's not going to be there. And I told her, no, if I become president, it will be there. I will not allow Congress to renege on a contract with the American people. They've been too busy, doggone, pleasing everybody else in the world. It's time they start realizing they work for us. And taxation, I have to agree. We are taxating ourselves out of an economic system beyond unbelievable because we have an exorbitant government that does not need to be supported as it is. We could have much more in this nation with a lot less taxes if we took away the garbage Congress has in serving the rest of the world, vice the American people. So people, you have your choice. Go with the political parties. Listen to Trump. Listen to Bush. Listen to the Democrats. Listen to their rhetoric. Nothing Absolutely nothing they're saying, including Trump, is new. It's just Trump saying it louder. That's all. He's saying the same thing that many of Congress have said. The wall, legal aliens, this, that. But nobody dare says, let's start throwing the owners of these companies that hire illegal aliens in jail for stealing from the American people. Because every time they don't pay that Social Security, every time they don't pay that Medicare, every time they don't pay that Medicaid, that's less money going into that pot, which means less money for you, and they have more in their pocket. Hey, that's the way it is. They'll deny it, but I can guarantee you, if they had to come up and prove it, they can't. So, what has JD got to say about our economic system? If you understand economics, you understand what is happening. That needs to be turned around. It's not going to happen instantaneously, but we can fix it, each and every one of us. Because once we start turning it around, it will give you developing new wealth within this country, which means more manufacturing, which means more jobs, which means less frustrated people, and hopefully the development and growth of our cities. But we have to do it together. You have to want it as badly as I want it. But so far, I see nothing, absolutely nothing from any of you. Okay? So, you want to fix the economic picture? We got to do it together. I'm going to tell you, your best economics cannot explain it any better than that. They can and say, yeah, he's 100% right what he's saying. And he has an understanding that is ungodly to how an economic system works. Can he do it for the country? That is not the answer. Can we do it for the country? Yes, we can. But you're the one who's got to decide. After I get there and do my promises, I have to mold us into a nation of one people, so we can build our nation to where it belongs. The leader by example and growth for the rest of the world to see. Thank you for your time. This is JD, and that is a brief description of the laws of economics. Our federal government is doing everything it can to degrade, since Jimmy Carter, our economic system by distributing it among the rest of the world. Thank you. This is JD.